Good morning and a very warm welcome to the Breakfast Rundown on TV1. Bringing you the news this morning, I'm Therunee Karunaratne, and this morning, of course, we'll have to start off the bulletin with a story that's making headlines all across the globe, and that is none other than the conflict between Israel and Iran that is ongoing for a sixth day today. US President Donald Trump has been quite vocal with regards to this conflict, and last night he expressed his views and his opinions on his platform Truth Social. Now, Donald Trump says that Iran's supreme leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei will not be killed, at least for now. The US president says that they know exactly where Iran's spiritual leader is staying and that he is an easy target, but he is safe there. But Trump warns that patience is wearing thin, and he also posted that his demand for an unconditional surrender will stand right throughout. Now, Donald Trump also posted on social media saying, and I quote, "We now have complete and total control of the skies over Iran. Iran had good sky trackers and other defensive equipment, and plenty of it, but it doesn't compare to American-made, conceived and manufactured stuff. Nobody does it better than the good old USA," unquote. The US has long provided Israel with military aid and equipment, but its official position since strikes began on Friday has been that the US is not involved in Israeli strikes on Iran. Now, Iran warned people in Tel Aviv and Haifa to evacuate, while in Tehran there are reports of more explosions taking place. Many Iranians are trying to flee Tehran, but others warn that they have nowhere to go. Now, meanwhile, the Indian embassy in the Iranian capital has urged its nationals and people of Indian origin to leave Tehran. It is estimated that about 10,000 Indians work and live in Iran. Early this morning, the Israel Defense Forces of the IDF said it has identified missiles launched from Iran. Sirens sounded across Israel as a fresh wave of missiles were launched from Iran towards Israel. Now, earlier today, US and Israeli media reported that US President Donald Trump has spoken on the phone with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. And another round of Iranian missiles were fired towards Israel, Iranian media said, and this was cited by Reuters, and it reported that explosions have also been heard in Tehran and the nearby city of Karaj, west of the capital. This was also confirmed by the IDF itself. Iranian Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei has said that Iran will never compromise with Zionists in a series of posts on X. Now, a translation of these posts read, and I quote, "We will show the Zionists no mercy. The battle begins," unquote. Now, the posts across Khamenei's several different language accounts are among his first public comments since US President Donald Trump said the US knew where he was but would not take him out, at least for now. In a latest development, US fighter jets have left a base in eastern England as reports grow of plans of the United States to get involved militarily in this conflict between Iran and Israel. Iran's Revolutionary Guards has issued an evacuation order for neighborhoods in Tel Aviv, Israel, according to Iranian media. The warning comes as the Israeli Defense Forces says it intercepted 2 drones flying from the east, which had triggered sirens in the Dead Sea area of Israel. Now, let's take a look at the very latest situation with regards to our Sri Lankans who are currently in Israel. The Sri Lankan embassy in Israel reports that 6 Sri Lankan migrant workers have been affected due to the ongoing conflict in the country. According to Sri Lanka's ambassador to Israel, Nimal Bandara, 4 of the individuals sustained injuries during the conflict, while the homes of the remaining 2 were damaged as well. Meanwhile, 146 Sri Lankans who were scheduled to travel to Israel for employment in the hotel and restaurant sectors are currently remaining in Sri Lanka due to the ongoing conflict in Israel. Ambassador Bandara stated that following the disruption of air travel, the Sri Lankan Ministry of Foreign Affairs has taken steps to facilitate their travel to Israel once flight operations are resumed to that area. With that, let's move on to more local news this morning. Now, Sri Lankan authorities have launched a multi-agency response to assess and contain environmental damage caused by microplastic fragments and debris linked to the MSC Elsa 3, which is, of course, a Liberian-flagged container ship that suffered an accident in the Arabian Sea off the coast of Kerala, India. The National Aquatic Resources and Research and Development Agency, or NARA, confirmed that special investigative teams have been dispatched along Sri Lanka's coastline from north to south to evaluate the impact on marine life as well as coastal ecosystems. Cleanup operations remain underway to remove plastic particles and other pollutants believed to have originated from the vessel MSC Elsa 3. Jagat Gunasekara, Director General of the Marine Environment Protection Authority, or MIPA, stated that priority cleanup efforts are currently focused on the beaches of Jaffna, Mannar and Galle, where the debris has already begun to accumulate. Gunasekara also noted that the Sri Lankan Armed Forces, along with local community members, are actively involved in these community cleanup operations. Despite these efforts, marine debris continues to wash ashore in multiple districts, including Jaffna, Mannar, Puttlam as well as Galle, raising concerns about prolonged environmental issues. The MSC Elsa 3 was transporting 643 cargo containers when it encountered a water leak and began taking on water on the 25th of May, roughly 38 nautical miles off the coast of Kerala in India. Several containers are believed to have been damaged or lost at sea, releasing microplastics and other hazardous materials that are now threatening regional marine biodiversity. Authorities are continuing to monitor and mitigate efforts as investigations into the full extent of the ecological impact unfold. On to more local news now. A special emergency insurance scheme named Sayura has been introduced for the fishing community by the Agricultural and Agrarian Insurance Board. The board stated that the scheme is being implemented in collaboration with the Ministry of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources Development, with a focus on addressing the unique life risks faced by those engaged in the fishing industry in our country. Now, this insurance scheme has been designed to offer 3 levels of coverage, allowing for annual renewal and affordability based on the financial conditions of the fishing communities. It requires only a minimal premium contribution from the participants of the scheme. Through this scheme, beneficiaries will receive coverage for accidental death, permanent or temporary disability, hospitalizations due to sudden accidents and funeral expenses resulting from emergencies encountered while engaging in fishing activities. The Agricultural and Agrarian Insurance Board announced that the Sayura insurance scheme will officially come into effect on the 1st of July. Now, the Ministry of Public Administration and Home Affairs has announced that strict legal action will be taken against those involved in misconduct or assaults against public officials. This decision comes in light of a recent incident in which a close associate of a former Member of Parliament allegedly attempted to assault an officer of the Department of Wildlife Conservation. Minister of Public Administration and Home Affairs, Professor Chandana Beratna, stated that the official in question was performing his duties at the Elephant Sanctuary in Puttlam when the suspect attempted to physically assault him. It is also reported that the suspect tried to seize the official's service firearm during this particular confrontation. In response to this incident, the ministry has pledged to pay special attention to acts of violence, harassment and obstruction faced by public servants across the country. Minister Aberatna emphasized that legal action will be taken without exception against those who disrupt or endanger state officials while on duty. With that, let's move on to the weather forecast for today. The Met Department says that showers will occur at times in the western and Sabaragamo provinces and in the Nuwara Eliya, Kandy, Galle and Matara districts. Several spells of showers will occur in the northwestern province as well. Showers or thunder showers may occur at a few places in the Uva province and in the Ampara and Batiklo districts during the afternoon or night. Fairly strong winds of about 30 to 40 kilometers per hour can be expected at times over the western slopes of the central hills and in the northern, north central, southern and northwestern provinces and in the Trincomalee district. And as always, the general public is requested to take adequate precautions to minimize damages caused by temporary localized strong winds and lightning during thunder showers. But we finally move on to sports news this morning. In sports, it's cricket, of course. The first test match between Sri Lanka and Bangladesh continues today for a second day at the Galle International Cricket Stadium. At the close of play on day one, Bangladesh, batting first, had scored 292 runs for the loss of 3 wickets in their first innings. Now, this match also marks the final international test appearance for former Sri Lanka Test captain Angelo Matthews, bringing an end to a distinguished test career. Bangladesh, who won the toss and opted to bat first, faced an early setback as their top order crumbled, losing 3 wickets for just 45 runs. However, a remarkable unbeaten partnership between captain Najmul Hossain Shanto and Mushfiqur Rahim for the 4th wicket turned the tide. The pair added an unbroken stand of 247 runs, with Shanto remaining not out on 136 and Mushfiqur Rahim reaching his 12th test century, finishing the day unbeaten on 105. Sri Lanka's debutant pacer Therunee Karunaratne impressed with the ball, claiming 2 wickets on the opening day. And that's a wrap of this morning's edition of the Breakfast Rundown on TV1. I'm Therunee Karunaratne. Thank you for joining us this morning, and do join us tomorrow as well. Same time, same place for more of the very latest from here at home and around the world. Take care. Have a wonderful day ahead.